What's going on, y'all? It's your boy No Credit. I'm back again with another one. I need you guys to do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon for more videos like this. Brian Norman Jr. puts on a show. He stops Giovanni Santillan, a Robert Garcia fighter, with a vicious uppercut. I mean, this reminded me of the uppercut that Anthony Joshua hit. What's his name? Vladimir Klitschko with. Remember that uppercut where it looked like Vladimir Klitschko's neck was about to come off? His neck looked like it got extended. He took the uppercut from Anthony Joshua. This looked like one of those days. Looked like one of those uppercuts. Man, Brian Norman Jr. Man, it was like a little war. I thought Giovanni Santillan fought the wrong fight. He fought the wrong fight because he just came out there and thought he could bully Brian Norman Jr. Norman Jr. clearly he was looking like the bigger man. I didn't know he was that big. He looked bigger than Giovanni Santillan. Like his arms was ripped, his back. At 23 years old, with a win like that, this kid has put himself at the top of the food chain in the welterweight division. I ain't saying he's the top guy, but he's at the top with a win like that because Giovanni Santillan had a lot of steam with a win over Alexa Rocha, who is also climbing in the ranks, who is going to be mandatory for Terence Crawford WBO belt. But now, Brian Norman Jr. is pretty much mandatory for Terence Crawford's WBO belt. I mean, Giovanni Santillan, man, he took a beating in this fight. He was blooded, looked like he had broken nose, maybe a broken jaw, but he took a beating, bro. Like, I ain't never seen somebody just come out there, didn't have no game plan. I don't know what Ryan. I don't know what Robert Garcia, what game plan they had. Because from what I was watching, Giovanni Santillan didn't have no game plan. Did they really thought they could just go in there and just walk this kid down and just knock him out? It was like an all-out Mexican war, back and forth. It looked like two Mexican fighters fighting, but it was really a black guy and a Mexican fighter fighting, and the black guy came out on top. He out-Mexican the Mexican. That's crazy. Imagine being out-Mexican. You know, a lot of fighters and a lot of fans in the comments be like, all black fighters like to run. Okay, well, we got a couple fighters like Norman who fights a certain way like this. And it's a bad style for anyone that thinks they could just walk him down because he's sharp on the inside and he throws a lot of punches. So he's going to cook you. The only problem with this is he loses to another black fighter that's slicker than him. Probably like a Jaron Ennis, because he could do more things. You know, that's why black fighters are slick, because they want to be able to move forward, move backward, circle. They want to do everything, lateral movement. They want to be able to do everything. You got to be a complete fighter. This is boxing. You cannot just walk forward and backwards. You got to give angles. You got to show a different look, change levels, feints. You got to do everything you learn in the gym. You cannot just step to somebody and just throw punches. You won't last in the sport like that. And you'll run into a black guy who actually knows how to fight Mexican style. And he's going to cook you like Brian Norman Jr. cooked Giovanni Santillan. I know, how did Brian Norman Jr. get his name? Was sparring from like Terrence Crawford. Brian Norman Jr. got his name from sparring Terrence Crawford. There was a rumor that Brian Norman Jr. he hurt Terrence Crawford in sparring. You know, Terrence Crawford's a guy. He spars like 7 people in a row. I watched him at Gleason Gym one time. He sparred Carlos Adames, and he sparred like 7 other people. The most famous person we know of was Carlos Adames. And you know what happened with that one? When he sparred Adames and all these other dudes at Gleason Gym in New York, he literally made Carlos Adames, who's not WBO, the middleweight champion, 160 champion at middleweight right now because Jamal Charlo refused to defend his belt. So he took Jamal Charlo's belt because he's the interim champion or the regular champion. He got elevated via email because Jamal Charlo refused to fight him. But anyway, Brian Norman Jr. made his name off of the Terrence Crawford spar. People were saying he caught Terrence Crawford with a nice shot early on in the fight, in the spar. But overall, it was good work. But Brian Norman Jr. has solidified himself in the welterweight division and will most likely be elevated to full champion when Terrence Crawford fights Israel Madrimov, because I doubt Crawford's coming back down to 147. So Brian Norman Jr. has become a WBO champion. And a unification fight with him and this guy, Jaron Ennis, should be brewing. I know they shared the ring together before as well. I don't know too much about their sparring, but I know they shared the ring together sparring. So we'll see what a future fight with Norman Jr. and Boots look like. There's no friends in boxing. They spar before, they must fight on big time TV, big time pay-per-view, and get this money. You know, both guys are slowly raising their profile. Boots with a little bit bigger name, but Norman Jr. is not far off and has a fan-friendly style.